All right, so Google has announced a new version of Gemini 2.5 Pro preview, and apparently this one is even better when it comes to coding, and I can actually imagine it will be better at a lot of things compared to the previous model as well. So as soon as this was announced, it's already went to the top of Chatbot Arena, and in this video, I want to run over some of the things that it can do, and apparently do better than the previous versions, as well as take it for a spin and show you an example of me building an app using one prompt and seeing how it goes at the end part of this video. So let's get into this and we can see some of the things that Google is saying that this does a lot better than before. Okay, so here we are on the developers.google blog, and this is just running over the new Gemini 2.5 Pro preview model, and basically what it can do better than the previous version of the model. So if we scroll down, the first thing that it really points out is that it's best in class at front-end web development. So Gemini 2.5 Pro now ranks #1 on the Web Dev Arena leaderboard. So I've got this tab open here, and you can see that already it is ranked at #1, and you can see that it is got the similar name to the previous version, Gemini 2.5 Pro preview, but what is different is this 0506 part here, which shows that it's the new version of the model, and it is #1 already by a good amount of score at least as well. So if we jump back, it's basically saying that it measures human preference for a model's ability to build aesthetically pleasing and functional web apps. Drawing on the leading capability, Gemini 2.5 Pro powers Cursor's innovative coding agent and empowers our collaborations with companies like Cognition and Replit. I think that's how you say this. Together, we're pushing the frontiers of agentic programming to unlock new possibilities for developers. So, yep, it's basically got this score now, 147. Let's just see if it's the same over here. I can't really see this, but yeah, it's shown here as #1 anyway. So it's #1 on the list just now. So Gemini 2.5 Pro in action. So what it's saying here is Gemini 2.5 Pro's deep understanding of code combined with powerful reasoning continues to make Gemini 2.5 Pro the go-to model for developers. And it's actually the model that I use more than anything as well. So when I'm basically coding, I use Cursor or I use VS Code now, which is something I've been experimenting with. And with VS Code, I've been using RuCode. And in RuCode, I can use the Gemini models, and that's what I've actually been using. It can become pricey though if you're using it constantly, but yeah, that's what I've been using, and it's doing very well at some of the apps that I try and build. So like it mentions here, we're particularly excited about how this model can be used in the following cases. So video to code, and I've watched this video already, and what it basically does is it can take a video of an application that you're basically shown in that video, and then it can take that and make it better just by watching the video, which is something that's never been done before, or at least I don't think has been done before. So it's quite cool that it can do this. So I can quickly play you this video. It's only 24 seconds long.
One of the fun ways to test out a new model is to see how it improves existing applications. On the right, you can see the old 2.5 Pro and a fairly basic app.
So you can see on the right here, like it said, this is an old version of an app. And I believe from what I'm reading here and watching, this is just a video of that application. And what the new Gemini 2.5 Pro has done is it's made like a lot better front end, which as you can see here, just looks a lot better than this one, right?
On the left, you can see it actually understood the video in depth and then made a fully functional quiz. This took the experience to the next level. And that is exactly what we hope you do with the new Gemini 2.5.
So that's quite cool how it can just look at a video and literally take that video and instantly make it better. I don't think I've seen any model that can do this. So super interesting. I've not tried this. So maybe I'll try this in another video just to see how it goes in one of the applications that I've built in the past. The next thing it mentions is easy feature development. I think this is just basically saying overall it can take your idea and make it quicker, and it gives you less bugs overall, so we don't need to run over that one. And that's basically it. So overall, it's just saying that it's a lot better at front end and makes less mistakes. I think that's the best way to sum it up. So what I want to do now is basically try testing this. And what I'm going to do is build an app that I first built when I started coding, which was a Pokemon Pokédex, I believe it's called. I built this from scratch when I first started learning JavaScript, and it got me familiar with coding overall. It did take me a few days to really learn how to do that and get everything right and get a working version. So what I want to do is see if I can get Gemini to build this using one prompt. So we're going to jump over to Gemini now, and we'll see if we can get it to build this Pokédex and see if we can get it working as well. So let's jump over there now. All right, so here we are about to attempt to build this application that I talked about. And this is actually a Pokédex, which is something that you can put in a Pokemon number and get some information back with an image. Again, this is something that I've built before in the past, and it took me maybe a couple of days to actually build a working version. This is at the very start when I was learning how to code JavaScript and HTML and the basics of coding web apps online. So we're going to use this API here, which is the Poke API. And what this will do is it'll allow us to hit an endpoint where we can get information about different Pokemon. The example here it gives is Ditto, and then you'll see what it returns. So it gives us back different abilities as well as images. It gives us stats like the height, etc. And yep, it will give us different information depending on the Pokemon that we give it. So once again, what we want to do is get a working Pokédex, and I have gotten an image from Google search, which is this one. So what we're going to do is just going to take a screenshot of this, and this is the image that I'm actually going to provide Google Gemini with and tell it to use this to build out the UI for this application. And I'm also going to give it just the endpoint here and the URL of the Poke API to see if it can get it. So if we jump over to the AI Studio here, which is Google, you can see I have got the model selected at the top right here, which is Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview, which is the 05-06 version as well, which is the new one that we've been talking about in this video. I've also preloaded the prompt here just to save us some time, and let me run through that quickly. So it's very, very basic, and it's on purpose as well that it's basic to see if it can build out what we're looking at for it to do. So I want you to create me a working Pokédex app using the API from the URL here. I would like to have a keypad where I can put in the Pokemon's name, and when you put in the number and hit enter, the Pokemon will show with an image and stats like a real life Pokédex. I want you to put this on a single page HTML and JavaScript file. Now the reason I've said this part is because I just want it to provide me one file that I can test in VS Code and see if I can get it to work. So that's what we're going to try. I have also attached an example image of the Pokédex. So very, very simple prompt. Let me just attach the file here, the screenshot I just took, which is this one. So we'll upload that just now. You can see this is the one that we got from Google. And then once this is uploaded, I will hit run, and then we'll see what it gives us back. So it looks like it's ready now. So let me click run, and you'll see that it will start to do its thinking down the bottom left here. If we click expand, you can actually see the things that it is thinking as it says, understanding the core request, HTML structure layout. It's basically just building out what it thinks the app should look like. It's got the styling here, which is cool. So it's got the Pokédex body. It's building all of this out. JavaScript logic, that's good as well. It's also doing the API call here, you can see. And it's just working its way through this. So it looks like it might have been done already, which was really fast actually. Let's build it. So it's gave me the file here, which is a HTML file. So this is the styles at the top, the CSS. Let's see if we scroll down. It's got buttons, everything else here. It's also got at media, which is, it will edit it on different screen sizes, which is quite cool. And then it's got the body here. So this is the actual visual part of the application, the divs and the JavaScript, etc. at the bottom. So if we go down, so it looks like it's got everything. Here's the JavaScript here. Yep, and it's got everything. So I'm just going to copy this, and you see it tells us what to do. So I'm going to jump over to VS Code and just paste this in, and then we will see how it goes and if it works from there. So here I am in VS Code, and what I want to do is just copy and paste that file that Google gave us and see if it works. So first thing I want to do is I've created a folder here, which is on my desktop. I'm just going to create a new file. I'll just literally call it test.html. And then all I'm going to do is paste that in. And this is the reason why I just told it to give me all in one file. So I can just do this quickly rather than separating things out into files and things like that. So I've just clicked Command S to save this. And then what I'm going to do is just open with a live server and we can see if it actually works or not. So I've opened this up with a live server. And you can see it gave us a Pokédex. It does look quite similar to the image that we gave it here. It is slightly different, but similar enough. At the moment, we've got no image. These buttons don't work. None of it works here. So let's actually try a number. So we'll just go number 1. And here we go. We've got Bulbasaur. That seems to work. We've got type, grass, poison. We've got some of the stats here, which is super cool as well. None of these buttons work. Let's try 99. Kingler, whatever that one is. Maybe 100. I think 150 is what it went to. Mewtwo, 149. Dragonite. So, yep, you can see it's got all the stats here. So it seems to be working, which is really cool. Let me just try and go for a higher number. I don't know how far this actually goes to. Oh, it's still going. So these must be some of the newer ones from when I knew about Pokemon, because I just remember it going to 150. But yeah, it seems to be doing its job, and it's actually done it very well. I think the styling and stuff here is really cool. Let's test it to see what happens if we make it smaller. So if we make it smaller, it actually does make it like fit into a mobile size. You see I've got iPhone 14 Pro Max here. So it does change its size, which is also cool. So it's responsive. So if I do this, you can see that it's changing. And let's just try putting another number here. Let's just do 10. And yep, it's working. All right, and that is it for this video. I hope this basically shows you some of the things that Google Gemini 2.5 Pro can do. I think it's done a very, very good job at this. We could obviously prompt it further to make it do other things, like basically use these buttons or this if we really wanted to. But for a first very, very simple prompt, I think it's done a very good job. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.